Maybe we should read it in class. What do you think?
I think I thought about it my own personal point of view, but without the pronouns out.
All right.
Actually,
No, I, we,
Death
he,
is
she.
sometimes a beautiful thing. After death, there's life. Like after when a plant or leaves die, the new ones sprout.
you leave dead bodies in the shred,
That way?
it's time to leave.
Well,
It's not a bad way to think about it.
You're not.
well, there's different things, and then not all bad things don't always come by death
I
alone.
thought about dirt and bones. Yeah, you'll see it in my paper, boys.
Death is dark and mysterious. No one knows really.
All right, crazy people. The good news
Yeah,
is,
my inner think mode working this morning.
the good news is that you guys successfully, those of you that were here, let me just do that grr again. Grr. Those of you who weren't here have to take the quiz again. Some of you who were here did pretty well on that quiz that you retook. So I'm pretty happy about that. Made my weekend a little brighter to see you guys making progress. Much better than the first quiz, and to hand those back to those people that took it again. Some of you guys, if you're not getting one back today, that's an indication you need to retake it so you get a higher score. Let's start our class out today. Nice to see everyone. Hi. Happy Monday.
Do you want us to leave that paper?
I want you to wait and I will tell you everything you need to know.
Okay,
Is that okay? I like your shirt. That's awesome.
thank you. Yes,
Did you want us to?
it's death, it's not so death.
No. We have a little different class today. Little different class. Similar structure, but a little bit different. I want to start out by reviewing what we did last class. So let's do that first, okay? We're going to review what we did in our last class. We talked about basically run-on sentences. You remember this? We talked about how sentences can go on and on and on and on and on.
Without any pause.
And the reason why we use this sentence, the reason why we get a new pen is because this one doesn't work.
It's right punctuality.
So, run-on sentences mean simple sentence structure has been confused. That's what a run-on sentence means. Simple sentence structure has been confused. Who can tell me what simple sentence structure is?
Subject, verb, object.
Thank you. And we use this to avoid, bless you, fragments. Is that right? Remember that? We talked about that last week.
Correcto.
Okay. We have to find what's missing in order to make sure that we don't have a sentence piece, a sentence fragment, without the most important parts of the sentence, right? Okay, now, this is all review. You most likely already have it in your notes. Okay, this is how we avoid run-on sentences. So a run-on sentence is when you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and you don't stop that sentence. Okay, it's one long idea. This is important because we learned how to connect SVO with SVO and use meaning. Okay, what do I mean by use meaning? Anybody want to take a guess what I mean by use meaning? Use meaning. If I have to connect two, excuse me, my voice shifted there. If I have to connect two SVOs, two simple sentence structures, right, with a word, there are two possible words that I can use. There were two types of words. What were they? That's right, a conjunction of one or the other type. We had a coordinating conjunction, right? And we also had a what? Subordinating conjunction. Who can give me an example of the coordinating conjunction? Remember it had an acronym. What was the acronym?
Fanboys.
Fanboys, there we go. Okay, and then what about subordinating conjunctions? Do we have any examples for that? What's one word?
After.
Huh? What?
Although, after.
After, there we go, after, or however, therefore. Okay. These were examples of those two things. Now, when I say use meaning, I have to pick the right word to go with the rest of the sentence, don't I? Is that true? You remember this? Okay, some of you guys, this is where we kind of dropped off a little bit. I noticed in the work that we're doing. We did really well right up to nouns. We got a little confused with verbs. And then we kind of dropped off when it came to connecting ideas. So we are connecting these two things based on the meaning of the sentence. Okay, the meaning of the sentence with one of these two types of words. All right? Let's say that one more time. We are connecting an SVO with an SVO based on the meaning of the whole sentence using one of these two types of words. All right? So that's what we did on Wednesday last week. You have one of these in front of you. We're going to practice. We're going to go back in time and we're going to finish this assignment to start our warm-up today. And then we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take what we've learned and we're going to put it to practice. Okay, we're going to apply what we've learned. And I'll tell you how we're going to do that in a minute. So right now you need to get this out. It says, subordinating conjunctions, grammar review. Grammar review. Okay, get this out. You should have one. It should be unfinished. On one side it should say coordinating conjunction grammar review. On the other side it has subordinating conjunctions. Right? So grammar review number 2 is the one we need to finish today. If you don't have one, raise your hands and I will hand you one. You have one? You may have one.
Thank you.
None for you. Grammar review, everybody have one. Sebastian, you need one? All right. Here you go, sir. That's okay. Everybody has one. Whoa. Yes. All right, so what are our rules with subordinating conjunctions? Who wants to be a super stellar student and remind me? What are the rules with subordinating conjunctions when it comes to punctuation? We don't have to know it for this particular exercise, but I want to know what it is. What about it?
Usually a comma.
Comma
Okay.
after.
Comma after what? After what?
After the word. The,
Nope. Oh, how quickly we forget.
no.
The middle
This
of
is
the
my-
sentence?
this is my-
So the middle of the sentence?
Good.
Okay.
This is my sad look right here.
Oh,
This is me defeated.
no.
Comma after the first, what? Clause. After the first clause. Okay?
After the first clause.
So remember when I said after the first clause, comma, I write
Oh, it's right here.
a second clause. Okay? What if I wrote the word however in the middle of a sentence?
No comma.
And no comma. That's right. No comma when a conjunction's in the middle of the sentence.
You just call the one that, any idea comes to.
Okay. So, let's look at this together. Let's do the first one together. First one, number 1. We are looking for meaning. So it says, read the following read the following sentences for meaning, then punctuate them correctly and fill in the coordinating conjunction. Oh, I'm on the wrong side, my bad, sorry. So read these sentences for meaning, then fill in the subordinating conjunction that best expresses the relationship between the two ideas. And there's a few of them to exemplify the point here. All right, so we're going to look at this. Bring it in right there. Number 1, the natural world is filled with exciting journeys. Perhaps none is more amazing than the flight of the monarch butterflies.
Although.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even.
I don't know if although is the right choice. Now, before we just start guessing randomly, let's look at our meaning. Okay? If I write although, then the word means one thing as opposed to the other. That doesn't work here because the two things are connected, aren't they?
How about because?
Yeah.
How about since?
There we go. I like while. How about while?
Yeah.
While the natural world is filled with exciting journeys, comma, perhaps none is more amazing than the flight of the monarch butterflies. Nicely done.
Yeah.
The word while will work.
With
If
since.
I say although the natural world is filled with exciting journeys, I guess although might work. It's just kind of a stretch. I want to be very careful that our meaning relates as closely to our sentence as possible. So although might be a little bit of a stretch, but we can put that in there. That'd be all right, Amanda. That was a good choice, regardless. Okay.
Okay.
So let's shoot for although or while or though. Let's see what else can we put. Even though.
Yeah.
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 Okay. How about though?
No.
I don't know.
I think it
Maybe.
sounds like it's contradicting.
It sounds a little contradictory. Okay, so we're going to stick to the words that sound the best. Okay, let's do number 2 on our own, 2 through 10, and see if we can come up with the right words. Okay.
Okay.
A little warm-up exercise for you guys today. Let's start with that. worry about what's being passed back, just try to do the assignment that you're doing.
All right.
We'll keep working at it. If you didn't get a high score, don't panic. Doesn't mean you're not passing the class. What? Paris is nice. That one's just a little more, it's just, it shows up. I'm so sorry. Okay. Everything was hanging further out. You okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. This caught me in the eye. That's fine. Like I said, don't worry about things being passed back right now. It's not the end of the world. You didn't get a super high score. It's all practice to get to an understanding of the language. That's what we're working on.
Have you seen them?
Sorry?
Santa Cruz? What's in the action word? They are in Santa Cruz.
Oh, the butterflies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
You just came
I'm
out.
just reading butterflies and it's like, oh, he is.
Raise your hand if you're still working on this. Raise your hand if you're still working, please. Okay, good. Keep going. It's fine. Take your time.
You want us to write that on?
If you finish a little early, you may begin to write the notes until everyone is caught up and finished. Okay, so let's continue with our subordinated conjunctions exercise. Let's do them all together and come up with the right answers, hopefully, or at least some correct answers. So how about number 2? Who'd like to take number 2, please? I don't know. All right, here we go. Volunteers. Michael, you were first. Even though monarchs are only 5 inches across and weigh only a 1/15 of an ounce, they travel thousands of miles north to south and back again. Nice. Even though works fine. I think even though is a good choice. Any other choices that people may have made?
What about because?
Because.
Okay, now if I said the word because monarchs are only 5 inches across,
Yeah.
do they travel thousands of miles because they're only that small?
No.
Right. So we can't use the word because one doesn't necessarily mean the other one. One clause does not mean the other clause. You follow?
Yep.
So the word because would mean one relates to the other.
How about although?
Although would work. Even though it's probably our best choice. How about number 3? Brian, would you take number 3 for us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I put when summer changes to fall, millions of these butterflies begin to migrate to warmer climates.
Good. When summer changes to fall. The word when would be our best choice, most likely.
Can you use after?
After would be fine.
After?
That would be
Okay.
fine.
Is.
I put before.
Before? Aha, good. Now I think that there's a problem, isn't there?
Yeah, the summer, fall don't come before.
No. No. That's not the problem. The problem is that we don't know when the butterflies come, do we?
Yes, we do, they come in right now.
I know that they come. I know, but we don't have any written context
I know.
to determine the correct time when a butterfly would arrive. So, because we're lacking that content, we have to make a decision as to what's the best answer. Before would work in this case, because we don't know any better. After would work in this case, because we don't know any better.
After.
So those words work because of the meaning. But as soon as we knew better, as soon as we knew when they actually arrive, we have to make sure we pick the right word.
Yeah.
How about
4.
how about number 4? Amanda, you're rocking it today. Help me out here.
Monarchs, I know I'm good at this, but.
I know you're on it.
Not
Help
on
me.
those tests. Monarchs have to migrate since they need warm sunshine to stay alive.
Okay, good. Since they need warm sunshine to stay alive, since is one word.
Because.
Because is another word.
Okay.
Yep. Anybody get any other words? No? Those are the best for this. Because or since. How about number 5? Somebody new, please. Number 5. Thank you, Charles.
The monarch butterflies that live west of the Rocky Mountains fly to the California coast, as those that live east of the Rockies go south.
Good. As those that live, that was a little bit of a challenging one. As those that live east of the Rockies go south.
I put whereas.
Whereas works as well. That's a good one, Ginger. Nice job. Nice choice. Good.
Thank you.
That was a little difficult. That was hard. So I'm excited you guys got that. Whereas or as, those are the right terms. And number 6. How about number 6? Jessica, would you take one for us today?
Sure.
Thank you.
For years, scientists wondered where eastern monarchs went after they left Canada and the northern United States.
Good. For years, scientists wondered where eastern monarchs went after they left Canada. I would say after is probably a good way to say this particular sentence, because if we wrote before, it would kind of confuse the meaning, wouldn't it? Yeah, that wouldn't make as much sense. So we want to stick to after they leave Canada. Good. Good. How about number 7? Elvis, you want to take one for us today? You can say no, it's all right. Got it? All right,
Yeah, I
thanks,
got
Brian.
it. Researchers at the University of Toronto eventually began tagging the butterflies before monarchs migrated south.
Before the monarchs migrated south, they would tag them before, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't tag them after. That'd be really hard to do. They'd all be flying over you. Yeah, you'd have to shoot at them. That wouldn't be good. But for Michael, that might work. I don't know. You make me nervous, Mike. David, question?
Was this supposed to be done as homework?
No, it was not. We just did it in class, sir.
Okay.
So the word is before. Let's see. We are at number 8. Thank you. Who would like to help me out here? Jennifer. Jennifer, you could use doing one today. I could see it. You ready? Got it? Number 8.
People continue to search until they finally track the butterflies to several sites in the forest of central Mexico.
People continue to search until they finally track them. Good. Good. Until. Until. Anybody get a different word for that one? Even though? No, that doesn't necessarily work. Sandra? Yes?
I'm sorry, but I'm lost. Which number?
Number 8. 9, I'm sorry, number 9. Number 9. I'm sorry.
Number 9, okay. Just
Sorry.
making sure.
Until.
Did I miss number 8?
Yes, we
I
did.
think we did this one right.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we said we were going to do number 8, and then I read number 9. No, you read number 9. Jennifer, you're trying to throw us off the trail here.
Hurry up, two times, hurry up.
All right, Sandra, you caught it, so you're going to give me number 8.
Okay, sure. I'll try my best. Volunteers throughout the U.S. and Mexico would contact the university. My answer is after they saw a tagged monarch.
Wonderful, wonderful. After, correct term. Excellent job. All right, how about number 10? We're going to bring it home with number 10. Saul, let's go for it. Oh,
Yes, for
wait.
number 8, I wrote
Wait,
when.
what is?
Wait.
For number 8, you wrote when.
Yeah.
When
is
will
after.
work for number 8 as well. You're correct.
Yes.
When works, that's fine. We didn't skip 9, we did it out loud.
Until.
We got confused there. Jennifer threw us off. Jennifer, what did you give us for an answer for number 9?
Until.
Until. Thank you. All right, how about number 10? Whew, we're moving fast, I know. Got to write those words fast, Beatrice. Beatrice, since you got a little behind there, so why don't you slow it down for us and take number 10?
At those sites, million butterflies cover the giant fir tree until no green from the tree is visible.
All right, until no green from the tree is visible. Well done. If you guys go to Lighthouse Field or Natural Bridges in Santa Cruz, you get to see lots of these monarch butterflies right now. They're all coming in and filling the trees. It's pretty neat. That's where I run my dog. And I get to, my dog runs and pounces on the,
butterflies.
yeah, he jumps up on the trunk and scares them all and they all flitter off. Even though it says it's fenced and protected. I never do that, I mean.
Don't we have a lot of Pacific Park?
Yes, they do. Make sure your names are on these and pass them up. For all points.
Yeah, we need every point.
Oh, you are good to go. Don't be worried. Lots of opportunities still. We're not
Yeah,
done
because I
yet.
did good on that evaluation on you.
We are not done yet. Well, that's why. That's why you have all this extra work now. Because you gave me those horrible evaluations.
No, everybody did good.
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. Pass them up. Just teasing. Here we go. Brian, will you collect them all for me because you're a good guy? Thank you.
What, who, what, huh?
What? Make sure I got everybody's.
I.
All right. Let's look at, we're going to do something a little different today. Okay? We're going to do something a little different. I need all of your attention before, don't worry about what's on the board right just this minute, all right? This has to work somehow. Is there a light? Aha!
Yeah,
Let there be light. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
All this time we've been teaching in the dark and waking all of you up. All right, here we go. Whew, that's blinding. A paragraph and a sentence. Okay, I have asked you guys in your journals to write sentences. 10 sentences using the simple sentence structure, right? SVO. Okay, I asked you guys to do that. Don't worry about what's on the board. Hi. It's okay, Charlie. You'll get a minute. Okay? So I asked you guys to do that because I wanted you to break down your language and try to cut back all of this lengthy amount of writing that you do, where your sentences are really long and there's lots of different things in each sentence. We want to stick to just the basics, okay? I don't want to lose you. This is important, and you have a very important assignment today that you're going to do in class partially and at home partially, okay? So you need to focus on me. So let's talk about why we learned grammatical structure, grammar, okay? Why did we learn about a noun, a verb, an object, a preposition, okay? Complete subjects, simple subjects, verb tenses, all of these things, how to connect sentences, right? SVOs, clauses, so much stuff we've learned in 8 weeks. And we've learned all of this because it comes together to form complete thoughts that you can communicate with other people. That's the whole point of learning English and proper grammar, is so that you can put your words together for meaning, okay? Meaning. When we look at subordinating conjunctions and coordinating conjunctions, it's a perfect transition because we have to see that there is meaning in our sentence in order to pick the right words. You guys just picked the right words because of the meaning in the sentence. Not just because they sounded right, but because there's meaning in those words, right?
Yeah.
Because the word and means in addition to. Because the word but means in contrast, right? Because we have a choice when we use the word or. Okay, every word has a meaning. Now, those meanings come together, all those words, they come together, and they form what's called a sentence, and they form eventually what's called a paragraph, right? And you guys know these terms. I know you've heard what a paragraph is, but I'm going to reiterate them. I'm going to start you over. We're going all the way through, okay? So we're just starting from the bottom, and we're working our way up. We've got all this grammar in our minds. Now we're going to work on the writing. A paragraph is a group of these sentences that we've talked about. Okay, you're going to want to write this down. A group of sentences with one main point or idea or central argument. One main point. One main point. If you're telling me about, let's go back to one of my favorite subjects, motorcycles. If you're telling me about motorcycles, you're not going to write a paragraph about a motorcycle. You're going to write a paragraph about how the motorcycle runs, or how the motorcycle looks, or how the motorcycle tire gets put on, or how the engine starts, or how the brakes work. You're going to find one piece of a bigger topic, and you're going to tell me about that in a paragraph. Okay? Now, a paragraph, if it's a group of sentences, right, more than one, it has to start with something. So we have what's called the first sentence of a paragraph, or the topic sentence. And we're going to learn how we put together a topic sentence today and what makes up a topic sentence, okay? There are important parts that you guys think you know, but you probably don't. Okay, we're going to focus on this topic sentence because it's the most important part of our paragraph. And you guys are going to work on writing and correcting some sentences to make them topic sentences. So, the topic sentence announces the topic of the paragraph. The topic sentence has two parts. Okay? The first part of the topic sentence is the one that you guys know the best. You should be writing this down if you're not, because it'll show up on a quiz. First, it has the topic or subject. Okay, the topic or subject of the paragraph. Now, you may see this symbol in English classes past our class. Okay, you might see this. It means paragraph. Okay, I wrote the whole word with the symbol at the front of it, but I might not do that in the future. I might just use this little symbol, and that means paragraph. Okay? So the topic or subject of the paragraph. It also has what we call the controlling idea. Okay, the topic sentence has two parts. The first one is the topic or the subject of the whole paragraph. The second one is what's called the controlling idea. Now, I wouldn't tell you something if I didn't give you a definition. So the controlling idea states what the writer will be developing about the subject. About the subject of the paragraph what will this writer be developing about the subject of this particular paragraph? Okay, so for instance, we're not going to talk about the motorcycle, we're going to talk about how the motorcycle runs. So that would be what the writer is developing about this particular subject. The subject, motorcycle, how it runs, the idea that they're developing. Okay? And it will also include and it contains the writer's attitude. You guys got a lot of attitude?
Yeah.
All right. Toward sometimes too much, huh? Toward the subject. Okay, so I have a really old motorcycle at home, and it frustrates me every time I go to start it because I'll ride it for about, I don't know, 15 minutes and then it'll foul a spark plug, which means it's running too rich and it smells bad. So my attitude is that it gets frustrating, right? I'm frustrated. So how do I write that into my paragraph? Well, that's a whole other story. How do I write that into my topic sentence? How do I express that attitude? Okay, the expression of this attitude is by negative or positive word choice. That's how I express it. Am I literally going to say, starting my motorcycle sucks? No.
You could.
No, you could,
Good, yeah.
but you're not going to do that, because if you did that, you'd be using what? First of all, what would the first problem be about that? Give me a second, David. What would the first problem be about that? Starting my motorcycle sucks.
You have to.
Nope. Number one, I'm using slang terminology. The word sucks. Okay? Number two, I'm using a personal pronoun. My motorcycle. Right? Now, if I were to change that sentence to be a good topic sentence, I might say something like this. The 1963 Triumph motorcycle, I'm being descriptive, is difficult to start. Okay. Does this imply a negative tone?
Yes.
It does. You could write that down as an example if you wanted. This would be a good topic sentence, right? Because what does it do? It identifies the topic or subject of the paragraph, which is my motorcycle and the type. Okay? Notice I didn't use a personal pronoun, right? No mine. It's not mine. I don't know. It's not mine. It says that it's difficult, which implies that it's a negative thing right here. Negative. And it tells me what the writer's going to develop about the subject, doesn't it? It tells me that it's hard to start. So that's what I'm going to talk about in my paragraph, isn't it? Yeah? It tells me that I'm frustrated about this. I'm going to tell you that it talks about the starting of this, and it gives me the subject, okay? Got that? Okay. Good. So again, a topic sentence of a paragraph. That's all we're going to start with. It's just the one sentence that goes to the very top of a paragraph. Has to have two parts. The first one is the main subject and It has to have the attitude or the controlling idea. What's this writer going to talk about this subject? Notice I have all the parts of grammar that we talked about, don't I? I have an article. I have an adjective, don't I? 1963 tells me a year, right? But it's actually the type. So we're going to consider the date to be an adjective. It's describing this word, which is what? A proper noun. Proper noun being used as an adjective to describe this noun, which is a motorcycle, which is then followed by a verb. Is difficult, that's an adverb. To start, oh, what do I have? A verb phrase, don't I? Difficult to start. So this is what we call a verb phrase, but right, being used as. Nice job. Okay, so look what else I have. A subject, a verb, and an object. All of the parts come together in this simple sentence. And I can use this to develop a paragraph. Okay? I can use that to develop a paragraph. Now, there are a couple other rules that we have to follow, of course. So let's talk about those. Does everyone have this, or do you need a moment more to write this down? Raise your hand if you need a minute to write it down further. One more person? Okay. So David, you're going to get notes from someone, right? Potentially? So we don't need the time necessarily in this instance? Okay, good. Thank you. Maybe you could pass on some notes. Someone could pass on some notes if you missed some of it. Here we go. So we're going to come back to this. We've got this topic sentence part. I want to put a few rules on the board, okay? So this should be limited and complete. Okay, limited and complete, these two terms. That's what our topic sentence is going to be. Limited and complete. So we have to make a singular or one point or statement. Okay? Make a singular, one point, singular point or statement. And we have to be able to write a paragraph that fully explains that point. So, if I were to say a 1963 Triumph is a motorcycle. Whew. Okay, let's use that as an example. A 1963 Triumph is a motorcycle. Limited enough or too broad?
Too broad.
Too broad. Why? Why?
Triumph motorcycle, what does that motorcycle do?
Well,
Or what features or characteristics?
a motorcycle in its own right is too complicated to explain in one paragraph. Right? There are all sorts of different parts to a motorcycle. There's the engine, the brakes, the running, the electrical system, the tires, the rims, all these pieces. Then there's the experience of riding it. And then there's what you have to wear when you ride it. And then there's the classes you have to take when you ride it. And then there's the license that you have to get when you... I mean, there's so many parts to this, right? Okay, and then I say this, well, this particular type has all these different things that makes it unique. Way too much to talk about. But if I go back over here, and I'm just talking about how it starts, is that small enough for a paragraph?